Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pac-Man World Re-Pac. At the end of the last episode, we finished up the funhouse area and took on the clown pre-boss, of course the clown race, a fun little racing version of a boss stage. And in this episode, we are going to start off the factory area at level 5-1, Perilous Pipes. So, yeah, I was kind of talking about this already in the previous episode, but the factory area of this game has to be my least favorite of the entire game. And I don't know if it's just a personal bias that I have with these, like, industrial factory type of level designs. I've never really liked them. Even in, like, Banjo-Kazooie, there's a few other games that have, like, more of, like, the industrial type of themes as well. I was just never really a big fan of those, so maybe that kind of stems from my personal bias against it. I don't know, but this is just not one of my favorite sections of the game. So as you can see here, we have these floating platforms, and they actually have magnets attached to the bottom of them. That's going to be kind of a reoccurring theme here in this section. And we're going to be actually coming across some of these platforms that are holding magnets on the bottom of them that will pretty much fall on top of us throughout some of these levels in this factory area. But as you see, that one kind of fell right down there. That's kind of going to be a new obstacle that we're going to be, kind of facing here in this section. So something to be kind of wary about. Those magnets do fall on you pretty quickly, so you want to make sure that you kind of move, out of that pathway, and kind of, be very extra careful of your movements in this area. So just wanted to kind of point that out because we will be seeing a lot of that, and even in the bonus stages. This is probably one of my least favorite bonus stage sections because we are going to be seeing more of these magnets reoccur in the bonus stages, and well, you'll kind of see once we get there. But the magnets can kind of cause quite a bit of a headache in the bonus stages because there are several of them placed throughout the bonus stages in this factory area. But for now, we're just going to continue to focus on, of course, making sure that we are gathering all of our collectibles, as well as taking on all of these ghosts, collecting all the Pac dots, and of course, finishing up the remaining Pac-Man letters in this level. So the letter A is actually conveniently placed right down here. You have to make sure that you jump underneath the elevator in order to grab that. And then, of course, we have that green switch that we went ahead and pressed down there as well. We have another ghost area right here. We just want to make sure we make our way around these giant blocks, and once we pick up the power pellet, we will be able to demolish these blocks in order to kind of clear our path, so that way we can go ahead and gobble these ghosts up. And I kind of like how these ghosts have hard hats. Again, it kind of fits the theme of the section here. Since we're in a factory, pretty industrial type of area, so it only makes sense to see our ghost buddies wearing those little hard hats. That's so cool. I've always loved the fact that they kind of switch up their little costumes there. I know we saw, those party hats. They were wearing party hats in the last section. It was more of like a circus party type of theme in the funhouse area. So it's kind of cool to kind of see that little, just a little, specific designs that they give them, little unique costumes. It's always kind of cool to see that. But here's where we're going to see the introduction of these steaming pipes. So these are essentially going to play a similar role to what we saw back in the funhouse area where we had the clown heads spewing that purple mist. This time we have some hot pipes to deal with that will be kind of releasing this hot steam upon us. So we want to make sure that we, kind of carefully avoid that. And you can also kind of compare that back to the space area where we had all those laser beams kind of shooting out at us as well. These are a little bit easier to avoid, but you just want to be careful. Alright, so now that we have the Galaxian key, we are now going to head back into the maze door where we will find our first maze of the factory. So this time around, as you can see, we have some more of those hot, steamy spouts that are going to shoot out at us from these little, I'm not quite sure what those are. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to industrial equipment, but it looks like it's some sort of temperature box. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but basically you just want to avoid those hot steam that steam that's going to be shot at you once you kind of make your way around some of these turns. So of course, Mega Pac-Man is invulnerable to those, just like he is with pretty much any other obstacle in the maze section. So again, you just want to kind of strategically, strategically map out your route in this specific maze section. So a little bit more difficult than the last one, I would say, but we did clear the first one, so I'll take that as a win. All right, so we're going to go ahead and return back into the level, and we have a little bit more work to do. We have quite a few collectibles left to find, so let's get at it. Want to avoid these hot, steamy pipes. And another thing I didn't point out is if you actually jump on these pipes, wow, the steam's actually, I think it's deactivated now. I don't remember that happening. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I guess the steam from the pipes can be deactivated sometimes if you finish certain sections, so. But what I was going to say is those pipes, even if you land on them and manage to avoid the steam coming out of them, you can still get hurt by just landing on those pipes because they are still hot. So you want to make sure that you are jumping around them or over them and not on top of them, even if the steam is not shooting out. So just want to kind of point that out there as well. And now we have these little torch enemies. These guys can be kind of irritating because they do flip up, from vertical to horizontal. So you want to make sure, of course, the torch part of their body is not facing upwards. That way, when you do your butt bounce attack, that you don't accidentally burn your booty when you are doing the butt bounce on top of those torch guys. So just want to keep that in mind. Pretty obvious, but I have to point it out since this is the first time we're seeing this enemy in the game. So more of these magnet things, again, pretty easy to avoid as long as you are careful where you're walking. Again, as soon as they shoot down, you want to get the heck out of the way. But this one we're going to actually utilize, and we can actually jump on top of it to collect that C, the letter C in our Pac-Man letters. So very nice there. I like how they kind of utilize those as a way to reach some collectibles that you normally wouldn't be able to, of course. So, but now we're going to go ahead and bounce our way up to the top of this. We have another fruit there. There's a peach there that we could find, as well as some Pac dots after hitting that yellow switch right there. And we have another metal dot. We haven't seen these in quite a while. So this is another section of the factory area where I just really dislike it. And I'm pretty strongly against the... I just don't really care, I guess, for the water sections of this game. I don't know why. I just find them kind of tedious. It feels like it takes forever to move through the water, even with the metal dot ability. Of course, you're able to kind of smash and break open some chests that are underwater with that ability, but it just feels like it takes too long to get through the water. And of course, when you're actually swimming without that ability, it takes even longer. So just never really cared for it. And unfortunately, the factory area is filled with these little underwater sections. We actually have one coming up. I think it's the next level, 5-2, where it's going to get a lot more tedious because there's going to be a lot more of those underwater sections. I think there's like half of the level. We're actually going to be traveling underwater for a good portion of it. I don't know if it's half exactly of the level, but it's or exactly half of the level, but it's pretty close. It's a good amount of the level, mainly towards the end of it. But now we're just going to continue to avoid these steamy pipes. So now they're shooting horizontally straight out at us instead of the pipes being on the ground. They are now positioned on the wall. So again, just kind of a variation of challenges kind of being thrown at us pretty consistently here for the most part. And as you can see, those magnets are picking up those big blocks, so I think they will drop those blocks down on your head as well. So you want to make sure, of course, you're avoiding that, and you're just kind of keeping an eye out for those magnets when they fall down, just like that one did right there. But now we're going to use this platform once again to get to the second letter A that we need to collect. So kind of cool. Another letter that we can get with the magnet. And we have some more ghosts to go ahead and gobble up. And of course, they're wearing their cool little hard hats once again. We can find, okay, there's a bell in that one, and our power pellet is right there in the air. We want to go ahead and take these ghosts out. Only 2 there, not too bad. And not really a lot of room for us left to go here as Mega Pac-Man, so we'll kind of wait till that goes back down. Very nice, and we will move right along. actually doing this pretty successfully. I thought this was going to go a lot worse than it is, so I'm actually kind of surprised I'm getting through this as smooth as I am right now, and I probably just jinxed it, but you know what? It's okay. I can, you know, I can kind of be proud of certain moments of success in this game, since I've kind of failed a lot in this game, more than I probably should have, as far as deaths, and, you know, I failed a couple mazes, or at least one of them. I had to redo it, but it's all right, because in the end, we're going to get through this, and we're going to do it successfully. Alright, so now that we turned into Mega Pac-Man, we want to go ahead and take out the rest of these ghosts right here. Kind of build up on that score a little bit more. Didn't intend to rhyme there, but we did anyways. And we have another dreaded underwater section. So this is where it gets even more annoying. So of course, they would place the hot pipes underwater as well. This part's not too bad because we're just going down there for the letter N. So we have all of our Pac-Man letters for the level, but it's kind of annoying to kind of navigate around those pipes underwater. Makes it a lot harder than even doing so above ground. So, but now we're going to make our way back over in this direction. And we got some more steam to avoid here. A little narrow pipe pathway there. I kind of like how that... I do like the layout of this level. It's very... most of these levels are laid out pretty cool, where they have a lot of unique looking pathways. It can be kind of challenging to get across, but it does fit the theme of the level. So I'll take it. It is fitting that we're in a factory section. But that's going to do it for 5-1. So we're going to go ahead and finish this up now with the first bonus stage of the factory area. Alright, so this is going to be the new bonus stage theme of the factory section. So, of course, like I said, these magnets are going to cause a lot of a bigger issue in the bonus stage compared to the regular levels, because there are so freaking many of these things in your way, and they can slow you down. I mean, I'm actually not confident I'm going to complete most of these bonus stages, unfortunately. I hate saying that to sound discouraging, but as you can see, I've already died there, so not too good. Alright, so traveling back to Ghost Island, it is now time to unlock the Under Pressure episode, which is, of course, level 5-2. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this one. And, man, I'm dreading this so much. This is probably my least favorite level of the entire game, but definitely of this section. If this is the one I'm remembering it as being, then this is the one that's kind of annoying. Alright, so starting things off, we of course have more of these blowtorch enemies. Of course, he's going to be a little bit of a pest this time around. I'm just going to wait till he raises his torch, or I'll just go ahead and just jump on him anyways. And now we have to deal with some of these moving platforms that will kind of move up and down. So we just want to be careful that we don't fall off, and we want to kind of stay... You definitely want to stay very alert of any of these passages that are underneath some of these platforms. So some of these platforms that are moving up and down will take you to some secret areas where there may be collectibles, there may be switches or things like that. So you definitely want to make sure you're staying alert of anything that can be maybe beneath, maybe hidden beneath some of the regular pathways in this level in particular. But now that we hit this number 2 switch, this is going to allow this platform to kind of raise to its highest point. And now we can get on top of here, break this open for a peach, just peachy, and then we can go back over here and open this door for another yellow switch. And that'll give us another trail of Pac dots, so kind of cool. We're doing another little flying thing there. Of course, it just takes us to a slot token that we didn't really necessarily need, but we'll take it. Kind of a letdown there for that nice little Pac trail, or Pac dot trail, I should say. Now that we have devoured all of the ghosts in this section, we're going to go ahead and move right along and jump onto this platform to take us all the way back up. Alright, so now that we have gotten back over that platform once again, it's time to hit that switch, which will give us some more collectibles, and we want to maneuver over here. And as you can see, our Pac dot trail was activated. It's just right up in that spot right there. Go ahead and collect this so we can take out these enemies. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do this now, since there's quite a few of these guys here. Ba-boom, that's all we need to do there. More fruits for us, very nice. Now that we have gotten back up here, we are finally able to collect the letter P. I feel like that's the longest it takes to collect the very first letter of a level. It just feels like it takes forever until you can finally find the P in this level for some reason. But anyways, we have found a checkpoint. We want to actually go back up this way because I think there's something I missed. Okay, it was just an extra life, so... Alright, so now that we have made our way onto this conveyor belt, similar to the funhouse area, we have, instead of the clown heads with the purple mist, we have more of those hot pipes blowing the steam as we are navigating across this conveyor belt. So we want to make sure that we don't get hit, even though I just did there. And we want to make our way over in this direction because we're going to find more fruits over here in order to open up some of those doors back there. So, so we're looking for an apple. See if we can make, or right here it is, perfect. Right there at the end of that conveyor belt. Just want to make sure we make our way back a lot more carefully. A lot more Pac dots for us to find, as well as the letter A there. Those are very easily missable if you do not get in the right placement. I think I still missed a couple there. Kind of similar back in, I think it was the space area, where they kind of throw them at you in that little conveyor belt. So you want to collect those as quickly as possible. And we have, of course, more hot pipes. Man, I would hate to be a plumber because I would not want to touch any pipe ever in my life. I don't know why. I think that would be gross and disgusting, and maybe I'm a crybaby for saying that, but all plumbers out there, you have my respect. All right, so continuing on, we have a longer conveyor belt here, and we have some more hot pipes with hot steam. More Pac dots, and perfect. Didn't mean to do that, but that works. We still missed a couple here and there, but it's all right. And now we have these little drill things that are going to come down right on top of our heads, but we're going to try to avoid those. That way we don't get drilled into the conveyor belt, even though I just got hit right there. And just like with the mallets in the last section, it looks like that would be like an automatic death if you get hit by those. But as you can see, I only took one hit out of my life count. Or one piece of health out of my health meter, so not too big of a deal if you get hit, unless of course you're down to like one hit left, and that would not be ideal. Now we're going to take care of these metal version of the blowtorch enemies with the metal dots, so not too bad there, and we have some more obstacles here in our path as well. Alright, so now that we have the Galaxian key, we can finally enter the maze of level 5-2. So pretty much the same type of song and dance we just saw in the previous maze. Of course, we have more of those temperature gauges that are going to shoot out that hot steam. So we want to make sure we avoid that, or of course find the power pellet in order to transform into Mega Pac-Man. And we have some more fun little movements of those objects as we pass through them as Mega Pac-Man, so pretty cool. And let's see if we can get this done without taking any more hits. I think I can do this. There's another power pellet down here. Let me go ahead and grab this. And then we're going to see if we can knock out the rest of these Pac dots, as well as devour any of the ghosts that are in our path, or try to avoid them, of course, once we run out of the power pellet. The power of the pellet. I love it. Alright, just a few more left to get here, and I love how he, the Pinky ghost there, I think that's his name, Pinky, the pink one. He kind of took a little detour there at the last second and decided he was not in the mood for some Pac-Man for dinner. So very nice, worked out for me. I'm okay with it because we have cleared the second maze of the factory. Very nice. Alright, so re-entering the level, we have more conveyor belt action as well as some steam action. And I never knew it was going to get hot and steamy in here, and I don't know why I said that. I'm a weirdo. Please bear with me. And this is where I absolutely want to go crazy. No, I'm kind of exaggerating it, but this is probably my least favorite part of the entire game, just because there is so much of this underwater section that we have to navigate through. And on top of it, we have these nice little creepy little shark enemies down here to kind of chomp on us. And the only way we can actually take them out is with the metal dot, which conveniently there's one right here. So we'll go ahead and take that guy out. And we also have to make sure that we hit all these green switches and break open the treasure chests with the Pac Dot before it runs out. So again, if you're playing this on the PlayStation 1 version, I envy the heck out of you, because this part is probably 10 times more challenging, knowing the fact that the metal dots do not respawn in that version of the game. This was probably a nightmare in that game. I never played that version, but I can only imagine. Honestly, I can't imagine doing this part with the metal dots not respawning, because this can be a pain in the rear, I'm telling you. Alright, so I actually want to go back down this way where we activated that door by hitting the green switch. We have a slot metal right there, and then there's another treasure chest we need to get down there with the metal dot to destroy. And we'll go ahead and collect this once again, get back down there, destroy the chest, and we are given, of course, a pointless piece of health. Very nice, I love it. Alright, now that we have swam back up in the main area there, we have a little bit of a break from the water, so we are going to get a little bit of a break here. We hit a checkpoint there, so not too bad. We're progressing along pretty nicely. I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I would, but I probably shouldn't speak too soon. So just want to avoid some of these steam, or some of the steam that's being shot at us as we use that elevator to get up here. More Pac Dots to collect. I love how they kind of throw them back down there where it's like, you know, we have to take the elevator up, and then they're like immediately like, no, you go back down and get those Pac Dots, buddy. Like, you have to do it. But now we have another elevator, so we want to wait for the steam to kind of do its thing, and then we can get across. And that was very glitchy. I was kind of stuck between the platform there and the elevator. Kind of nice. We have another one that's going to take us upwards. And yet again, another yellow switch. So let's go ahead and hit that sucker. And of course, we get another pointless extra life. Man, we're getting pretty close to triple digits there on the extra life count. We're at 86. I can't even imagine. I don't think I've ever gotten over 100 extra lives in this game out of all of my playthroughs. So that's kind of cool. We're going to get pretty close to 100. I think we're going to pass 100 actually in this Let's Play. So, but now we have a little bit of a task. We have to navigate over these pipes, so it can be kind of challenging to kind of watch where you're jumping, and then now the steam is actually going to be shot from the pipes as well. So we have to make sure that we avoid that once we get back over there, of course. And we have some more ghosts, more factory ghosts to take out, so we'll go ahead and do just that right now. Have some more temporary platforms to kind of help us from falling down that gap there, so that's kind of cool. Again, I love how they utilize that. Wow, that was close. That was the first time I've actually almost fallen and died when the temporary platforms disappeared. So kind of a little scary thing there, but we managed. You know, we did it. We survived it, so not too bad. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and continue to jump over these pipes once again. We want to avoid the steam, even though I didn't do that good of a job back in that one. Get that bell, and we're going to move right along here. We're actually getting pretty close to the end. Maybe it's level 5-3 I'm thinking of that has more of the underwater sections. I feel like that wasn't nearly as much as I remember it being. Unless it's coming up here very soon, which it very well could. I could be wrong. I'm wrong in a lot of things. I'm wrong about a lot of things in life, so I would not be surprised at all. But now we're going to take these bouncy pads over here, and we actually collected that bell. We want to go ahead and open this door, and that's going to get us our final Pac-Man letter of the level. Very nice. We can get back up here. Take out these torch guys, and we're not doing too bad. I think this is actually, is this it? Okay, yeah, this is actually not the level I was thinking about. So we'll see more of those underwater sections in the next level, but we are now taking on the second bonus stage. Alright, so again, similar to the first one, we have more of these magnets once again, and we have to avoid the freaking burners. Very nice. So not only can we be, trampled upon by these freaking magnets falling right on top of our heads, but we can also be burnt to a crisp. So, again, if there's any bonus stage in this, out of any of the areas, the bonus stages that are, pretty difficult to get through, it's definitely going to be this one. Definitely my least favorite, I have to say. I know I... Probably just saying that because I suck at it, and there's probably people out there, several people out there that can do this with no problem. They're probably laughing at me or just completely face palming at this moment. But Yeah, it looks like we failed a second one, so not too good at all. All right, so we got a few more one-ups from that slot machine game, so that's not too bad. That'll kind of make up for the failure I just had in that previous level towards the end there. And we're over 550,000 points for our total high score. Not too bad. We have just a little less than 200,000 points left to get to that actual number, 765,000. But now it is time to unlock level 5-3 down the tubes. But that's actually going to do it for this episode, because we are going to be taking on this level in the next episode. So next time on Let's Play Pac-Man World, we take on 5-3. Until then, I will see you later.